Wednesday, DUI charges were dismissed against Georgia running back Trevor Etienne, who transferred from Florida to Georgia, which is fun in and of itself. Say nothing of his brother Travis Etienne, who's an outstanding running back at Clemson and in the NFL. But this also reminded me that Georgia has had something like a problem with its players getting in driving charge related incidents with law enforcement. And the reason I'm talking about it on Friday, even as this stuff happened on Wednesday, is because two other players got cited for reckless driving. Smile Munden, inside linebacker at Georgia, scheduled to start, probably a first-round caliber player. DeMello Jones, who is a freshman. They were driving 2022 Dodge Charger, black, Smile Munden, and a 2021 Porsche Panamera for DeMello Jones. Now, put aside for just a second the reckless driving part, the speeding that's doing 75 and a 45, just for a second, and realize that an 18, 19, 20-year-old in a Porsche Panamera is just not something that I'm used to hearing about or seeing, right? That's a dream car for a lot of other people. I think top end, the V8's like $113,000, so maybe you got it, maybe you don't, maybe you drive something better. But even a couple years ago, we're talking about Georgia players driving Jeep Trackhawks, and that's a 707 horsepower Chrysler. I mean, goodness me. And every car is fast. Like, please understand, every single car in 2024 is fast, and EVs are the fastest, and it can happen to you. Matter of fact, in June, John Force, who's a legend in motorsport, he hit the wall doing 300 miles per hour. It can happen to you, right? Be smart. Don't drink and drive. Don't be stupid. Show common sense. Be smart. That's not what's been going on at Georgia. And that's the reason why you see the title of this segment. I kind of want to talk about this because we saw Bo Hewley, DeMello Jones, Smile Munden, and we can keep going back further. Matter of fact, we take it all the way back to January 2023 when Chandler, LeCroy, and Devin Willock were in a fatal crash. And we thought perhaps Kirby Smart needed to put a lid on this, if for no other reason, right? Jordan Davis being a part of that too. But then I read in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that Georgia football players have been cited 22 times for driving-related charges since Chandler, LeCroy, and Devin Willock were involved in that crash in January 2023. And then the AJC did an even bigger investigation, just trying to find out whether or not this is actually something to watch and or cite. And they found that 350 players that have played for Kirby Smart at Georgia have been cited 300 times traffic offenses. 60 of those were serious speeding infractions, and in one case, there was more than somebody was driving more than 100 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone, right? So that's one. It's higher than the state average in Georgia. But the other part about this is people are asking, going into SEC media days, A, what will Kirby Smart do about this? Because this is not the first time that he's been asked about this. Not the first time he's been asked about this at SEC media days, or will be. It's more like, okay, is this a symptom of something else? Now, Georgia on a football field has been the best football team in the nation 3 of the last 4 years, right? Depending on how you feel about Michigan and its 15-0 season going back the last 3 years, Connor Stallions, and whatnot. But Georgia, it's been them back to back. They were looking to become the first program to win 3 consecutive national championships since Minnesota won them, in air quotes, in 1936. But I think if you are a Georgia fan, you're probably looking at this going, RJ, is that a Ric Flair jacket you got on? You know he's a Georgia fan? Yes, it is. I understand, right? You're looking at this thing going, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio, listen to these guys out here hollering our name, when last year we spent more money on spilt liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, limousine riding, jet flying son of a gun, and you're having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo. Yeah, I understand that, right? You the champs, right? You the champs. Carson Beck drives a Lamborghini. For real. Because you the champs, right? Or at least you were the champs. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing. You were the champs. You got beaten in the SEC championship game by Jalen Milroe, Alabama, and Nick Saban, right? Auburn nearly upset you earlier in the year, and Auburn wasn't that great last year, and you didn't make the college football playoff. Now, again, this is difficult because Georgia has become the thing that we're all terrified of in college football. This year, I think they're going to have some challenges. Off the top of my head, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss, Missouri, Alabama. They're all there, right? Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma State also had another incident, this being July. The dudes are out here driving fast, trying to get from one end to the other. And I'm thinking, all right, I understand being bored. I also understand thrill-seeking as a young person and a motorsports enthusiast. But we can't be stupid about this, guys. That is why I wanted to do this, to say, okay, we're talking about this now, right? This is not a thing that gets to go away when we go into the season. Now, it also needs to be said, during the season, Georgia seems to know exactly who it is and what it needs to do to play championship-level football. But as these things continue to build and as the player parking lot at Georgia seems to resemble a Haggerty photo shoot, we're probably going to have more to say about this stuff a little bit later on down the line. But again, I think Georgia is going to be fine. I think Kirby Smart is going to figure out how to best nip this in the bud because he has to. But this is not a thing that is sustainable, right? 2008, Florida Gators won a national championship. Also had 41 players on that team arrested. 121 players total, so a little third of the team. You're not there, right? Georgia's not there. Totally different series of events, and these are mostly reckless driving related. Some of these others were not at Florida in 2008, but you get my point here, right? It is something that you got to get a hold of, or it feels like it could get out of control. I don't think it is, but it could, so we're talking about it.